What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is Geography Now. I have reacted to Geography Now before. I don't think you have.
No, I don't think so. I don't recognise them anyway.
Yeah, I think it is your first time reacting to him. So it's all 50 US states summarised, pretty much. Give you some facts about each state. And they're summarised. Keen for this one? You keen?
Okay. Yeah, I'm keen, yeah.
We'll learn something new about all the facts.
And probably 100 more states we want to go to.
And yeah, pretty much. It's one of them videos where potentially a cool fact comes in, and then you're like, oh, now I want to go to that state even more.
Now, which position is that on the list?
Yep. It just constantly keeps changing, doesn't it? But obviously Yellowstone is at the top, and I don't think that will get nudged off. If you guys enjoy this kind of content and want to see more Geography Now or stuff like this, let us know in the comments. Smash that like button. So we have a like goal for this?
2.5.
2.5. 2,500, not 2.5 likes.
Oh, yeah.
2,500 likes. We'd seriously appreciate that. You absolute legends. Let's see if we can get there. A bit of a goal to try and achieve. And you never know, if we're here, something may happen. You have to hit it to find out, won't we?
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen yet.
We don't know. We'll have to see. Smash that subscribe button as well, you absolute legends. We seriously appreciate that. And let's check out all 50 US states summarised. What we got.
Hey Geography peeps, so this is a little video that I kind of wanted to make for a while, but never really had time until now. So of course the majority of Geography Now subscribers are from, you know, my home country, the US. However, we do have a very, very noticeable and sizable community of subscribers outside of the US. And some of you have expressed, you know, a little curiosity as to how each of the 50 states, you know, kind of function or what they're like. Each state does kind of have their own unique individual qualities, and I'm gonna try my best to explain each and every single one of them to you right now. Alabama, where both white people and black.
Do you recognise a flag?
It's a Jersey flag.
Very similar to a Jersey flag.
But we have the lions in the top. We have 3 lions.
Yeah, I remember Alabama just very similar to Jersey flag.
That is the Jersey flag, but
just
without the
symbol.
lions.
Yeah, definitely.
People are poor, but they party equally hard. Roll Tide! No, but seriously, Alabama is kind of like where the Confederacy started, so, yeah, Civil War. Alaska, America's refrigerator. Seriously, this is like where we stockpile up all our resources that we won't tap into until things get really messed up. It's the largest and coldest state. You can find polar bears and the native Yupik people. Arizona, the Grand Canyon state. This is kind of like the King Desert state of the US. Arizona is also home to the largest Indian reservation, Navajo Nation. Arkansas, basically just read the book Where the Red Fern Grows. It basically just gives you the gist of what Arkansas is like. And the people here love.
I had to add it in. I had to do it.
To be fair, I did see a comment the other day. Someone said, oh, it was on our dialect one.
Yeah.
It said, in which state do they pronounce Transamerica? Because the video where I think you've seen the clips where I'm like, it didn't clock. It didn't clock. So I got roasted for the other day. And obviously I call that Arkansas. But I'm pretty sure you would have done the same if you hadn't heard me say it. You had no...
I did. I've heard about it before. I know it was.
I'm not having that.
Yeah, and everyone's going to roast you right now for saying that I'm wrong.
I know you better.
Just accept that I am right. Like,
oh, I agree. You are right. But you wouldn't have known that before.
Yeah, I would have. No. I would that. We can argue if you want. We'll argue off camera.
We'll have this discussion off camera, guys. But it's Arkansas. We all know that. Not Arkansas.
We all know.
What dummy would say Arkansas? You know, it's only got the word Kansas like Kansas does. But yeah, what dummy would say Arkansas? Arkansas.
I don't see the space.
Dogs. They have like the highest dog ownership out of any state in the country. California, my home state. So let me just put it like this. If California somehow, for some reason, seceded from the US, it would still be like the world's 7th most powerful economic superpower. So obviously California holds a high position of geopolitical influence in our country. Nonetheless, California is still heavily dependent on the US government. We're the home of the entertainment capital of the world. 3 of the largest tech companies in the world are in Silicon Valley. Crazy diversity and everything you need packed into one place, California. Colorado, our healthiest state, which has the lowest levels of obesity. This is probably because people go outdoors and get, you know, fresh air and enjoy those mountains. Just be careful if someone offers you
Colorado
a
is somewhere we could go off from Yellowstone, because everyone says, well, not everyone, but people recommend flying into Colorado, then going to Yellowstone.
Oh, okay.
So that's potentially somewhere we could visit at the same time.
It looked beautiful, didn't it?
Truffle or a brownie, they are really enjoying those new cannabis laws. Connecticut is like the gentler, cleaner suburbs that people move to when they are sick and tired of New York. Delaware, the first state to become a state, and that's like literally all they got going for them. I think they have like a cardboard box factory. Florida, America's swampy playground. Seriously, like none of the houses here have basements, because if you you just dig down a little bit, you'll hit water. Orlando was originally built because not enough Americans could travel all the way to California to visit Disneyland, so they built Disney World. They made it bigger, and then like 8,745 other theme parks opened up. Georgia, the Peach State. Home to Coca-Cola and the busiest airport in the US. Boiled peanuts and Little Miss Beauty pageants. Yeah, some places do that in America. Hawaii,
we definitely need to react to that, don't we? Because
I love you, little baby.
That's such an American thing, isn't it?
Oh, it so is. And do you know what, like, I think so funny is how mad the mums get.
I mean, I haven't seen much of it. I only remember
this child
Friends.
is like 3, and the mum's like shouting at him. It's so funny. I actually love it.
Let us know if you want us to react to beauty presents. I imagine there will be clips there.
The child one's the funniest.
Yeah, okay, let us know in the comments.
State to become a state. Before we made Hawaii into a state, it was actually its own country. Like, it was a Polynesian country. They had their own monarchy and everything. Liliuokalani was the last queen. It's pretty cool. Otherwise, you know the rest. Hula, surfing, pineapples, luau's, yada yada yada. Idaho. The only fact that most Americans know about Idaho is that they grow the most potatoes out of any other state. I mean, apparently
just
they
like
have
Jersey,
some cool secluded
Looks nice.
spots like hot springs and gorges. Otherwise, I feel like the people in Idaho are probably hiding a lot of dark secrets that we don't know about. Illinois, the land of Lincoln, even though Lincoln was born in Kentucky. Now, I actually grew up a large portion of my childhood in this state, and a lot of people know this place by another name, Chicago. Seriously, like, half the time people don't even know what state Chicago is in.
Yeah.
And historically, it was known as, like,
I always thought Chicago was the state.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do that, and I didn't know it was in Illinois
The
either.
only reason that I found out that it wasn't was last year, one of my parents is actually from Illinois.
Oh, okay.
And she was like, Illinois, do you know what that is? I was like, no. She's like, Chicago, do you know that? I was like, yeah.
There you go. I suppose it is one of them because Chicago's such a big name, a staple and all that. You kind of think, well, if it's that big, kind of like New York, but I guess with
But
New
then
York...
New York's a bit cheated because it's New York. Like,
yeah, it's New York, Manhattan, which is the big name.
It's the city, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then it's... New York's such a big place other than...
The state as well. But everyone's normally, when we talk about New York, in terms of a tourist area, talking about Manhattan.
Brooklyn, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
Slaughterhouse of America, partially because all the cows from Texas were brought up here to be slaughtered, and also because there was kind of like a little bit of a mafia past. Indiana is like Illinois' annoying little brother who took the town of Gary away from Chicago, and then they get to claim that they have the birthplace of Michael Jackson. No, but seriously, like, the only interesting thing from here is like the Indy 500 car race. Otherwise, John Green is from here. Iowa. Iowa is like the state that was so flat and so dull that they had to find creative ways to entertain themselves. Oh, and they're known for being really good at wrestling. Kansas is the heart of the Midwest, famous for Dorothy from Wizard of Oz, and this is literally the flattest state in our entire country.
Wow.
Kentucky, you with your baseball bats and bourbon and KFC and horse derbies. It's also home to Fort Knox, where we hide all our gold. Louisiana. Now y'all coming down here, y'all gonna see that you gonna get the real culture cajun. Vous comprenez, mon ami? Louisiana is one of the only few states left in the US that has concentrated francophone communities that speak French, kind of. Known for the bayou and a diet high in crawfish and crabs, reptiles, and other swamp creatures. This place is unlike anywhere else in the US.
That freaked me
Maine,
out.
the lobster state. This is like where all the tough Atlantic sailors come and live and have houses on foggy cliffs with lighthouses.
That gives me a little bit of Jersey
Maryland is like
vibe.
home to the
A little bit, yeah, that lighthouse.
A little
there.
bit of Jersey vibe.
Definitely.
richest, most well-educated black people in our country. It's also home to Olympic gold medalist Michael Phelps. They also love crab cakes, baked crab, boiled crab. You cook it, they eat it. Massachusetts is like the Library of America, and it has our best university, indisputably in the world, Harvard.
Yeah,
However,
I went
there's like
there.
3 different types.
I'm joking.
A new Harvard jump as well. I think
It's
you
a new
bought it
one.
recently, but you got it over Christmas,
I've
didn't
also
you?
ordered 3 more, and but they're not Harvard. They are different state tops. So I'll be like,
Yeah,
sneaking
from a
them
different
in.
state, yeah. Let us know when you find out. You only ordered them because of you guys as well.
I actually did only order them. It's the top 3 that I see in the comments all the time. So keep an eye out for those.
Types of people from Massachusetts. There's the uppity, the gritty, and the intellectual gritty. They all believe they are better
not know
than the
Harvard
other
was in
two.
Massachusetts.
Michigan. I am so sorry. You were doing so well in the early 20th century. You're like one of the richest states, but then you kind of filed the largest municipal bankruptcy case in U.S. history. Minnesota. I was actually born there. Minnesota is kind of like
thought you
the
was born in
Finland
California.
of America. Plus, there's
I
also
think
like
he
an
lives in California.
All right, okay.
I think that was the
so born
idea.
in there.
Minnesota, grew up in
Grew-
California, or
grew up
lives
in
there now.
Grew up in Illinois, didn't he?
Illinois.
somewhere like that, and then he lives in California.
And then lives in California now.
got it.
Yeah, there you go.
Actual lot of Finnish people and other Nordic people that live there as well. The land of 10,000 lakes. And if I must say, they have some of the most attractive people in our country. It's just they have kind of funny accents. Hey kids, let's go grab our bags and read the magazines. Yeah, I grew up with that accent. Mississippi. This is like probably America's truest, deepest, southern, y'all put some butter on my grits state. Speaking of butter, yes, they are the fattest state. Just they are. They love their churches, pecans, and tons of famous people like Oprah and Elvis were born here. Missouri, America's gateway to the Midwest. Missouri is kind of like Kentucky's fraternal twin that also got mixed up in the Civil War and was kind of...
No, can I clarify?
You mean his childhood house?
No, it's Elvis Presley's Graceland, isn't it? It's like it's his home that he, you know, like he didn't. I don't know if he grew up in it, but it's like his home where he lived when he was like famous and he had his children there, married there. But they've turned it into a museum.
Oh, okay.
And they've made it. Everything was left how he left it when he died.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah.
We'll have to another thing on the list. You just added them to the list.
I've for a couple of years now, I've been like looking.
Oh wow,
it's interesting.
Like a buffer zone. Today they are known for their Kansas City barbecue. Yeah, the largest part of Kansas City is actually in Missouri, not in Kansas. Las Vegas for old people and people who probably collect those tacky figurines and put them in their china cabinets. Sorry, Missouri, just that's the image that conjures up in my head when I think of you. Montana, America's big, empty, mountainous, may as well just make the whole thing an Indian reservation state. I mean, seriously, you got the Blackfoot, the Flathead, the Crow, the Cheyenne. Nebraska, corn and steak. That's literally like their only attraction. Oh, and Warren Buffett, the second richest man in America, lives here. Nevada is like California's drunk girlfriend. Las Vegas alone is like 80% of what keeps the state alive. Oh, and we bury all of our nuclear waste somewhere in there too. Rock on, Nevada. New Hampshire is kind of like a small autumn wonderland with beautiful foliage and wooden covered bridges. Home to Dartmouth, the smallest Ivy League university. New Jersey, pretty rich and very angry. Like they don't even try to brush off the stereotype. They just own it. They either go crazy on the dance floor or crazy on each other. New Mexico is like Arizona's little brother that had to live in his shadow his whole life, but then Breaking Bad happened and now he came out with like six-pack abs and a sleek new look. And Roswell is supposedly where aliens landed. New York is kind of like where so much of American history got its roots. Most Caucasian Americans that have ties to immigrants from the 1800s can trace their ancestors back to Ellis Island, where most Europeans came.
I love that
home to our largest city by population, New York.
Best parts of our trip, I think.
Yeah, it's a very unique experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it's all the history as well. We did the hard hat tour, didn't we, as well? And it was,
Nah, definitely different and interesting.
Proud people with big attitudes, and they never sleep. Seriously, like this whole place never stops moving. Well, North Carolina,
they say that, but remember when we went out? We went out at like 8 o'clock in the morning. And it was quite quiet, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's because everyone was just finished partying and gone back just after breakfast.
I mean, it was so bright. It was like being out in daylight.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first time we went out, it was like...
But I mean, when we went out at like 11 o'clock and 12 at night, it was absolutely rammed.
Yeah, it's like they did like the other way around. Like, yeah.
So they've all gone in for breakfast now because they've been partying all night.
He didn't let me go out when we first got there at midnight. Did you? You told us we had to go to bed.
Yeah, because we had... It's like, right, let's just put this into context. That just sounds like
our flight was delayed for like a whole day.
Our flight was delayed and we were that tight on stuff. We had to get up in about 6 hours' time to do stuff. And my reasoning was, like, let's not go out for a couple of hours and only get 4 hours sleep and ruin the whole day. Because we were tight on stuff.
We were actually panicking because we got to the airport at 8 o'clock in the morning and then our flight got delayed till 10 o'clock and we were thinking, if it actually gets cancelled now, all of our day tomorrow. We've booked so much tomorrow.
We booked loads of stuff.
We had the Broadway show, didn't we? Like
I can't remember what we had, but... We had a lot, and we had stuff every single day. So it's like if we ruin that first day because we're tired,
we can't catch up on that day.
We'll still be tired and won't be able to catch up. Still be tired, and it'll just ruin our holiday. So the logic was get a good night rest. Tomorrow we wake up, we do our stuff, we see it all. I think it was very smart because we had a great time.
I was just so excited.
In-flight state in which the Wright brothers flew the first powered aircraft in 1903. Otherwise, Coca-Cola's arch nemesis, Pepsi, was born here. North Dakota, congratulations. Now everybody's paying attention to you because of that whole Standing Rock Reservation, Dakota Access Pipeline controversy drama thing. In addition to a high concentration of Native Americans, there's also a lot of Norwegians that live here, many of which still speak Norwegian at home. Ohio is like the most plain Jane typical American experience state with corn dogs and fireflies in the summer with fireworks and carnivals. They also have the largest Amish population out of any other state. Then election time comes up and everything becomes a bloodbath. Oklahoma, America's tornado state. Now, pretty much all of the Midwest gets tornadoes. However, Oklahoma, you get hit hard. Oregon, it started out as like the frontier logging and lumber state with burly men with axes and chainsaws. But then one day, the hippies realized they couldn't afford living in San Francisco anymore, so they all just kind of moved up north. Now Oregon is like this weird lumberjack, vegan, hipster, hybrid freak show with good donuts. Pennsylvania, America's history state. We should have had our capital over here, and technically at one point our Congress did actually meet in Philadelphia. If you want a real American history story, come here. Rhode Island, our smallest state, and it's not even an island. It's not even a peninsula. The heck, Rhode Island? Anyway, they were one of the original 13 colonies, and other than that, they really don't have much else going for them. I mean, they're home to the fictional city of Quahog in the show Family Guy, but that's about it. South Carolina. These people love
pretty depressed, isn't it? Like, yeah, you've got a fictional place there, but other than that, yeah, not much.
No one else cares about it.
If you're from Rhode Island, any of you legends, let us know something good about the state.
Yeah.
I want to know something good about Rhode Island.
Go, fudge, walnuts, and it's home to the largest portion of the Gullah community. They speak their own Creole mixed with African influences, and they hold their own communal festivals and celebrations. South Dakota, the other Dakota. Home to Mount Rushmore, America's most iconic presidential landmark.
Place.
They're also working on the largest sculpture in the world, the Crazy Horse Monument. Otherwise, like North Dakota, they also have a sizable Native American community, mostly part of the Sioux Nation. Tennessee is kind of like the girl down the block that Texas has a little crush on. The capital of the Appalachians. Mountain folk, bluegrass. Country music artists all come here in hopes of making record deals. Now everybody knows about Texas. Texas was at one point even its own country, and in Texas, everything is bigger. Football, or American football, is basically a religion. Barbecue and barbecue sauce are each separate food groups. Cattle ranches are everywhere. And contrary to popular belief, most Texans don't really mind Mexicans or Mexican culture, as so many already live in their state that they've actually kind of developed this new Tex-Mex culture that fuses both of them. Utah, basically everybody kind of knows this place as being like America's Mormon state. Salt Lake City is like the headquarters of the Mormon church, and over half of the entire state's population is registered with them. Otherwise,
that's really funny.
Skiing.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Obviously just learned about it now. But then another family that I watch on YouTube are from Utah, and they go to a Mormon church, and it's yeah.
There you go.
Just click that. Also another Utah family does skiing.
Yeah, did it? There you go. It all adds up, doesn't it?
It all adds up. Makes sense now. When I watch it now, I'll be like, I know that.
The Sundance Festival comes here all the time, and they have great eroded rock formations, like my favorite site in all of America, Monument Valley. Vermont is kind of like New Hampshire's smaller twin brother that makes a lot more maple syrup. Otherwise, the only other thing that they got going for them is Ben & Jerry's. Like seriously, if that company goes bankrupt, they will become the next Michigan. Virginia is kind of like where everything started with the US. Essentially, the British came in, they tried to start a little small town, and then the whole Pocahontas thing happened, and then Disney made everything incredibly accurate. It holds so much history. So Virginia and Pennsylvania, those are like the two history states. Washington, the evergreen state. Basically, imagine the exact same scenario with Oregon, except replace hippies with computer nerds. Bam! Microsoft, Amazon, Expedia, Starbucks, Boeing, they're all born. Oh, and a volcano erupted in the 80s, and it's like really easy to catch flounder in their waters. West Virginia is like the southernmost state that was actually part of the Union during the Civil War. It was like, nope, Virginia, I'm leaving you. They are also the oldest state. The average age is about 40, and we get a lot of coal from here. Wisconsin, America's dairy land. Now, my personal belief is that everybody needs to have at least one friend from Wisconsin. I personally do. My friend Bill, he's actually the one who made the theme song for Geography Now. Wisconsin people are like the easiest to get along with. They have the best stories. They're also like home to the country's most attractive, chubby people. They don't care. They own it and they flaunt it. Wyoming, home to our country's most noticeable national park, Yellowstone. Beautiful place, waterfalls, shooting geysers, hot springs. They have tons of buffalo, and it's kind of like the training grounds for actual cowboys. And here's a little bonus, Washington, D.C., our capital. Although it has a population higher than 2 states, it's not a state, it's a federal district. The president lives here sometimes, Congress assembles, mostly. All the museums in the Smithsonian are free, but the hot dogs are crazy expensive. There's statues, monuments, and everywhere you are being watched. Security cameras are everywhere. So have fun. Just not too much fun. Oh yeah, and we also have those territories like Puerto Rico, Guam, Marianas, and Virgin Islands, but we'll talk about those later. All right, now very quickly before we end this video, just please just listen. As you guys know, I've mentioned this before. I'm trying to work to save up.
Check this channel out. The link will be in the description if you want to see the outro as well. Enjoy that?
Yeah, it was good actually. I want to go so many places.
Definitely. A lot of fast-paced info at us as well. Hard to sometimes, I feel like you need to give it a couple of watches, because I mean, I have seen this video before, and a few other things, and then it's just re-clicked in my head, if that makes sense. But enjoy that.
Yeah, it was really good.
we'll check out more Dropping Now videos if you guys want us to. I think there is one on large states and large. I can't remember what it is. I did see it. I don't think I've checked it out before. So that'll be a new one to both of us, and it is quite a long one because I think it's like a 15-minute video, but it's in 2 parts.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's 2 15s or something like that. So if you guys want to check that out, let us know in the comments. I think you'll know what I'm on about because it pops up if you search this video. It pops up underneath it. So let us know in the comments, guys. Smash the like button, we'd seriously appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button. You're absolute legends, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.